Hi, Nancy Mueller here. I am here with my friend Manu Toigo.
Hello.
For any of you that have ever seen Naked and Afraid, the Discovery Channel's Naked and Afraid, Manu is a survivalist. So she's here today to shoot a video with me, and we're going to be teaching women, not we, I'm going to be shooting it. She's going to be talking. I'm not going to be doing this, about how to survive in the desert. Are you prepared? Manu, thanks for being with me today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I guess the main purpose why I'm here is that now that so many women are coming into their own business, becoming their own entrepreneurs, and it's taking women out on the road by themselves. And I guess there are many questions that we need to ask ourselves. Do we really know how to prepare for a road trip for the unexpected? It doesn't matter whether you're going from A to B, whether it's 20 miles away, or if you're having to travel to another state. We never ever know what's going to happen. So are we really prepared? Not only prepared within your vehicle to keep yourself safe and all that kind of stuff, but it's also the mental preparedness. Are you going to be someone that's going to freak out, oh my gosh, and go into this whole panic mode, or are you going to be cool, calm, and collective and feel confident that no matter what the circumstances are, you're going to be the best prepared as possible in your car to keep yourself safe and comfortable? And that's my whole purpose here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I know she's always getting after me about using my GPS.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to bring it to you, girls. Okay. First thing, ladies, the car. Manu's going to have me, what?
Well, the first thing that we need to know is actually how to check your own vehicle of all the fluids, like knowing how to check your oil, knowing how to check your brake fluid, your radiator fluid. It's just those little basic things, because if you're on the road and you don't have fluids or have extra fluids in your car, you could find yourself in a little bit of trouble.
You know, Manu, what I'm going to tell you is I always call AAA.
Yeah, most people do.
Okay.
These days.
All right. And just being honest.
Well, but this is where we have to break through it.
Okay.
We've become way too dependent on relying on another source to take care of our own stuff.
Okay.
I was going to say another word, but our own stuff.
Okay.
Right? So
yeah.
With this, we need to start to learn how to become more dependent and reliable upon ourselves, so that we know.
All right, I'm ready.
All right?
Okay.
Okay, open up your hood.
Okay, first question, I missed it. How to open the hood. See? She's so disappointed in me already.
How can you not know how to open up your hood?
AAA. I know this guy holds up the thingy.
Yes, it does. And of course, as we all know, we've got to make sure it's secure. And where is the little hole? Oh, right there. There you go. All right, so we all know that each car is very different. This is the first time that I've looked underneath a hybrid vehicle. So the whole, but everything is basically exactly the same thing. So the first things I do, even before I head out on the road, particularly for a long trip, is check the oil, because in most cases we always have a small oil leak. And unfortunately, see if I'm pulling this out, most oil sticks are brightly colored so that you can identify what it is. And we have a nice level of oil here. Now, another good thing, this stick here is very clean and it doesn't look like we have any oil burn, which means that her car is definitely in good service. When you start getting burns, oil burns on your stick, and the oil's looking goopy and black and thicker, it's time to get a service, an oil change, and so on, because you need to keep the engine well lubricated and, of course, clean at the same time.
So actually, this would help you as well when the dealer is telling you you have to have it done every so many miles. You can check it yourself
absolutely.
and say, no, it's not time yet.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it's not time yet. Okay. I mean, the cars and the types of oils that they're doing these days are, far beyond better quality than what it used to be. You know, the cars are going longer without having to have oil changes, but at the same time, let's not ignore the basics of it. Don't always rely on, you know, a little beep coming out saying service, service. You know, just you know, be just a little bit more clued in.
Yes, that's what I do. I depend on those beeps.
Yeah. Now, if your oil level, it'll show you oil levels. Here it's got 2 little pinpoints. Each stick is going to show you a level of where the oil needs to be. And in her case, in order to put oil in this vehicle, I've already identified where her filler is. And it's just to the left. And it actually says engine oil. So if you're unfamiliar, look for a cap that is closely near the motor here, and it'll actually say oil on it for most of you who don't know. And some cases they do tell you, it does tell you what kind of oil is supposed to go in there. Some cars take regular, some cars take synthetic. I prefer synthetic because it's a cleaner burn, and it lasts longer, and depending on the climate too, you have different, you have lighter oils and you have thicker oils. Now the thicker oils are typically for the more hot terrains because of the heat, and so the oil doesn't become too thin. Now in cold weather you would have a higher level of oil, which is thinner, because the cold freezes it up and keeps it more, more concentrated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's always a good thing to know. And so never make a mistake. I've seen people trying to fill up their oil through the dipstick. It is not cool, and it blew me away. I was like, unbelievable. All right, so another great thing is making sure too is that we need to identify the brake fluid. Most brake fluids, very, very rarely you would ever have to top up your brake fluid. It's mainly your oil, your radiator, and your wipers that you're going to really need to check. But it's not a bad idea to keep an eye out on the level of your brake fluid. And yours looks pretty clean. Now each compartment is going to show you where the level needs to be. Nancy, your brake fluid, which is right here, is good. And a way to identify it, see that little circle with the 2 arches around the side?
Yep.
That's like a little picture of your brake drum. So that's how you identify what your brake fluid container is like. And that's
I thought it was a target.
No. So in most of these modern cars, if there's something going on with your brake fluid, this little picture is going to show up in your dashboard. And a lot of people see a symbol on the dashboard like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Well, if you look closely, that's how you identify how everything's related. Okay. Now the other thing, big thing, is to check is our radiator fluid. And in this case, her little container is right here, and they also have a level. Radiators are probably going to be your most concern because of the amount of heat and stuff that goes, the hot water that goes through your engine and through the hoses. And there's a lot of hoses, working in with the radiator. So it's always a good idea to make sure that your radiator is full. Now, there's typically a canister, and there's also a radiator cap. On most cars, on my car, I don't have a radiator cap. It's a fully enclosed radiator. So yours has a radiator cap. And if you haven't checked it in a while, well, look what happens. It kind of gets stuck. So you want to make sure everything's all clean and tidy, and your radiator is all good to go. Tiny little cap here. Okay, and the second thing, the last thing that, definitely underneath the hood is you want to check your wiper fluids. And you need some water in there.
Okay.
Nancy.
Okay. And do you just put any kind of water in there, or?
Oh, you can just put regular water. You can put water with a few drops of your dish soap.
Mm-hmm. How about white vinegar?
You could, but I'm not sure. Well, yeah, it'll be diluted enough, so it should be fine. And you can buy wiper fluid as well.
Okay.
I just typically just use regular water because I have concerns about when you do put the wipers on, you're spraying up things, and I'm thinking about the environment.
Right. Okay.
You know, so.
So I need to go get some water.
You need to go. And,
I'll be back.
all right. Oh boy.
Okay, so how's this? Is that okay to pour from?
Well, yes and no, but you need a container that has a good amount of water.
So you want me to bring you a whole pitcher?
Yeah, typically. But
You want me to come back with a pitcher?
no, I think we got that figured out.
Okay.
But this will do, Nancy.
All right.
Just for everyone to know, you probably need a little bit more water than
Okay.
this. This is good though. We're getting some water in here. Oh, Nancy, it was bone dry. Didn't even take it.
See what happens when you live in the desert?
It just evaporates. And that's a good thing she actually just brought up, now that I think about it.
Yep.
The desert, heat, evaporation, and that's your water, all your fluids, including your radiator. The other thing while Nancy is getting me some more water, it's always good just to have a cleaning rag on you in the vehicle at all times. One, to wipe your hands. If you're a little worried about your hands and nails, have a pair of gloves on hand as well to be able to check all this, because it can get a little gritty in there. Now, while she's away too, so that I use up the time best, another good thing to check underneath the hood is your battery connections. And sometimes batteries get older. You're going to have a buildup of corrosive battery fluid up around the cables here, and you want to keep those cables clean. Nancy's here is a little grotty, so I'm going to go ahead and just clean that, wipe that off a bit, so it just keeps it nice. Now while you're underneath here, if you just want to check occasionally, look for wet oil in around the engine, whether it's coming from below or whether it's coming from up top. And this is very important too. Most cars, I'm sure we're all have faced oil leaks at some point or other. So it's just keeping an eye on your engine. If you do happen to see an oil leak, you know, look at it, see whether it's from the bottom or from the top, and that gives you a better feel of what needs to be done. If you're taking it into the shop and say, I got an oil leak, and I think it's coming from down below or above.
Down under.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, how's this?
Oh my goodness.
Does this make you happy?
Ta-da. You were bone dry here.
See, and that's not something I would ever look at, so very good.
Okay, you're all set.
So my fluids are good now.
Yes, everything else. And the other thing that I did for you too is just cleaned off these battery cables, because you want to try and keep these areas as clean as possible to help stop battery corrosion.
No easy feed in the desert.
Yeah.